Wind energy. To Essent, the way to generate green power. In both the Netherlands and Germany, Essent operates some 500 turbines, and it has plans for more. Some 20% of Essent's total production is green energy. In the Eemshaven area, a total of 88 wind turbines are realized, 52 of which are owned by Essent. Westereems Wind Farm. Capacity 156 megawatts of green electricity to supply 135,000 households, half the province of Groningen. The wind farm prevents an emission of about 270,000 tons of CO2, the emission of 70,000 cars in a year. A mobile civil law notary, designated especially for this project, reduces to writing the agreements between Essent and the many landowners and operators who give permission for work to be performed on their land. All the licenses and agreements have been obtained from landowners, ministries, the Dutch Organization for Agriculture and Horticulture (LTO), environmental organizations, water boards, partners, etc. A total of 140 licenses and building rights have been granted. Construction can be started in the Eemshaven area, a perfect location for a wind farm, surrounded by existing industry, directly by the sea and in excellent wind conditions. A complication. To transport the electricity generated to the existing national grid, a new 110 kilovolt connection and switching station will be necessary. The national transport grid doesn't offer enough capacity in the Eemshaven area. Part of the trajectory runs along the N46, another part straight through and sometimes underneath the farmlands. The entire new trajectory is 30 kilometers long. The connections are constructed in 3x3 single cores. 13 welding pits are necessary to weld the cable parts together. The construction of the entire 110 kilovolt connection is ready in 4 months' time, a record performance. And in close consultation with the landowners, the topsoil has been dug off layer by layer, stored separately, and put back. A special transport sets off for Eemshaven, with the huge transformers that will soon bring the electricity generated by the wind farm at the right voltage level for the national grid. The outlines of the switching station are becoming clear. This is where the large transformers will be installed. The cable connections to the wind turbines are also fitted. The hub of the entire wind farm, equipped with state-of-the-art electronics. In the wind farm, all turbines are connected to the switching station. Another 30 kilometers of cables. To avoid nuisance for the existing traffic by the construction works and to be able to work safely, special roads are constructed. The existing ones are either closed or used as construction roads. The 52 new turbines will replace 134 existing ones that will be dismantled. That means fewer turbines, yet 6 times the yield, no less than 470 gigawatt hours a year. These are the set-up locations where the new turbines will be installed. After the groundwork is finished, the driving begins, 25 to 35 meters deep. The drivers use vibro poles. After driving the steel casing, the iron reinforcement and the concrete are added. Wait 3 weeks to let it harden. And then, decapitation. All the poles need to be the same height. The framework of the foundation, the ironwork, and then the casing. Finally, the concrete, 26,000 cubic meters in total. The parts for the towers are produced in Emden. Concrete rings have been used for Westereems wind farm. The pylons will be 100 meters high. The lower 80 meters are made of concrete. The top part is made of steel. The lower ring, the biggest, has a diameter of 7.5 meters. Aurich, Germany, the Enercon plant, the supplier of the wind turbines. These state-of-the-art 3 megawatt turbines no longer have the traditional gearbox. In these turbines, the rotor and the blades are directly connected to the generator, a so-called ring generator. Less maintenance and more guaranteed performance. Each of the rotor blades, made of fiberglass reinforced epoxy, wood and other materials, is 40 meters long. Where necessary, they are heated to avoid ice accretion. A special coating is applied to prevent irritating light reflections. The turbine is equipped with a storm control that gradually throttles down the rotor between wind force 10 and 12. And of course, there's a lightning security. The nacelle, including rotor, weighs 120 tons. The construction of Westereems wind farm, a mega project, where everything is big, extreme, complex. And that takes consultation. A lot of consultation, to align everything with all the partners. How do we go about it? Safety procedures. How can we consider the environment? And for example, consultation with Groningen Seaports. Everyone understands the special project that's realized here. The construction is also a logistical tour de force, for all the parts have to be ready at the same time. The turbine parts are brought in both by water and by land and assembled in Eemshaven, a new way of working. For the construction of the wind turbines, several special large caterpillar cranes are used. The biggest, 135 meters high. This approach, using this type of crane, is considerably less time-consuming than the traditional working method, where the turbines have to be assembled and disassembled every time. And so, the construction convoy goes from one windmill to the next. At each foundation, the crane piles up the prefabricated segments to the total pylon height of 100 meters. In the pylon, the assembly activities for operation of the turbines is in full swing. complex and high-tech. Essent employees check all the connections. This is where the entire wind farm is controlled by specially trained Essent operators. For Essent operates and maintains the entire farm itself. Then, an official moment. The first turbine is transferred to the maintenance team. A festive ending to a challenging project. "12 months after the start, this is it. Right on schedule, Essent WindparkWestereems wind farm is fully operational.